Welcome to Just Three Bullets with Dee, Donna, and Maya.
We are three UEL fashion marketing students discussing diversity from three different perspectives, and we even got a very exciting guest for you guys.
Stay tuned and catch us every Wednesday at 5 p.m. only on Apple Podcast.
All right, welcome to Just Three Bullets. My name is Dee.
My name's Maya.
And my name is Dana.
Today, we're going to dive into the topic of diversity, but more specifically, we're going to get into imposter syndrome. So, you ladies ready?
Yes, we are ready.
Let's do this. Basically, when it comes to imposter syndrome for me, it's something that really doesn't affect everybody, but for me specifically, it's usually been more about how I felt when I walked into certain rooms. I think it was more of an insecurity and not necessarily anything other people were putting on me. And then, when I did have those interactions with people that didn't go so well, I always took it personally. I always, just figured like, oh, yep, this is exactly what I thought was going to happen. Like I knew I wasn't cut out for this. They know I'm not cut out for it. So it really is just like a personal insecurity. A lot of times I don't even think the other person even thinking about me, but I think they are.
That is so true, like for me, that language is like the extreme barrier. Like I think that even with that podcast, I was like, I'm not cut out for it. I cannot speak with a proper British, excellent accent and stuff like that. So I was like, I'm out of my element here.
Yeah.
Like I can agree with you guys because like I live only in UK like 2.5 years, I would say, and coming here with as university on my campus, people said, "Oh, Dana, you have broken English," and I was like, "What does it even mean?" And they were like, "Oh, you're just like having stupid mistakes," and I'm like, okay, then just better like advise me how to fix them or what. But they never did. They were just laughing about that. So it was always been like challenging time to like accept this culture and language, and as well as Deandra said, like always like keep thinking what people are like maybe thinking about me or what kind of like person I am to them. But as I come from small country, which is in Latvia, Riga, everything new is good, and I would say like all good things that comes to you brings your personality to new challenges. And yeah, I'm here to expose one of my biggest challenge, which is developing my own fashion brand. So here I am studying and in this university with you two guys, and I love you guys.
We love you too.
Of course we do.
To go to kind of explain what imposter syndrome is and to use, an outside source, Maya actually found a video of a really, 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 I mean, she seems brilliant woman speaking about what imposter syndrome is. And she says that the percentage of people experiencing imposter syndrome is the highest in women of color. And myself being a Black woman, like I completely, like Maya showing us this video was just right on the nose for me. Like it meant a lot to actually see someone experiencing the same thing as me, and it actually coming from a woman of color. So here's a clip.
I felt as if no matter what I did, regardless of the accomplishments, I was never quite enough, and like I was falling behind and couldn't compete. I just knew at any moment they would discover that I was there by mistake. When I finally had the strength to open up to a friend about what I was experiencing, she gave words and validation to what had tormented me for so long. The imposter syndrome. Now, up until that point, I had never heard of the term. But like any good millennial, I hopped right over to Google to figure out what it was all about. Here's what I found. To put it simply, the imposter syndrome is the experience of feeling as if you are a fake. At any moment, you believe that you're going to be found out in the workplace or even in your personal life and exposed as a fraud.
So that was actually Christina Whitaker. She's just lovely. She's a TEDx speaker. And honestly, you can really tell. She's phenomenal. She speaks to, a largely female audience about the issues, we face in in a professional setting. She speaks about the ways we can thrive in a professional setting. She's just like your girl's girl, but she comes with like really good helpful information, if for no other reason than to make you realize you're not alone in this in the professional world, especially as a woman of color, where you may actually be sitting in a room where you are alone. So she's amazing. She, like I said, she likes to speak about how to be career driven, but also about how to look after ourselves after a long day of being alone in this world. So thank you, Maya, for that video. Like, that was a really, really great choice.
So basically her speech was very very strong. I think that what she was saying, it touches like most of us, but especially the minorities, just because we feel like we've been hired just to hype up those numbers in the diversity report, and we are questioning ourselves on are we should be here because of our skills and abilities, or is it all about the number that has to be presented to society and like be
Exactly.
socially acceptable. So I think it's a huge problem.
Yeah, no, as I mentioned before, like, I really agree with her. I got an internship here in the UK, and I got it through a company. I thought it was a good idea at the time, but I got it through a company. I won't mention its name, but you know, their purpose was basically to get it, and it's run by people of color, but it's to get more people of color hired in spaces that maybe there are very few or no people that look like them. And so it's basically just to bring minorities, or underrepresented people into more corporate environments. But then when you get there, you realize that the reason that these companies have put their job listings and stuff, have given their job listings to this company, is because they need people of color. And then you get there and you're like, okay, they needed me. Like, I'm the black hire. Like, I'm here because I'm a black woman. I'm not here. It's not that I'm not qualified. Like, maybe they do feel I'm qualified and they grabbed me because I'm black. But if they didn't have this pressure to hire someone who is a person of color, would I have been hired? Do they actually see value in hiring me outside of me just being a token? And so you just, you end up really wondering if you're worthy of having a job. You end up wondering, these girls. Like, I was sitting in the office with, blonde white women who came from an affluent background, and I'm a black girl from government housing, and I'm like, I not only did I not feel like they wanted me there because of my value, but I also just I didn't have anything in common with these women, with any of the staff there. So it's like, even though I had the resume, the CV to back up being hired in that position, I went from, feeling like they would eventually find out that I was an imposter. I went from feeling like it was a possibility to actually feeling like they did think I was an imposter. So I completely understand what she was saying.
Obviously it's very there, it's present and we all feel it, but there has to be some way to cope with it somehow, to be aware of your worth and your abilities and skills so we can feel like we belong.
Yeah, absolutely. Our instructor, Allison, actually, she gave us a table that has 9 different ways to cope with imposter syndrome. So the first is know the signs, let go of perfectionism, talk with your mentor and a manager, know that you're not alone, be kind to yourself, say yes to opportunities, distinguish humility and fear, track your success, and embrace the feeling. So are there anything from that table, or just like any personal habits you have when it comes to actually combating imposter syndrome?
The thing is, like, when I moved to UK, I will not say in which company I was working, but I was a waiter, and this company, like to me sometimes like working like your working structure is bad, you're not good fit in it. But nevertheless, I don't think about it. Like what has happened has happened. It always happens with a reason, and we learn from it. So yeah, now going into the future more and adding stuff about the imposter syndrome is that I always say yes to all things and all challenges. And like, can you agree that that's how it is when you say to things, yes, I will go for it, I will try. I don't know how it's gonna end.
No, for sure. And I got to the point where I was saying yes to so many things that I was actually being burned out because I was like, I really, really want to get as many experiences as possible. But I had done it for so long that I actually found myself being in a position where I knew what I wanted and I knew what I didn't want. And I knew what I found to be a waste of time. And I knew what I found to be, a valuable use of my time. And I actually was working a Fashion Week event. And I arrived to the event and mind you, I was doing it for free, and the person that I was going to be working for free again, um, it just seemed like she didn't value my time. It seemed like it was extremely unorganized. She had us running around because of her, she was just completely unorganized. And I said to myself, I was like, you know what? As I was standing there having my time wasted, I was like, you know what? This is a waste of my time. I don't actually want to do it. But I got to that place where I knew what I found valuable and I knew what I wanted to do because I had said yes to so many things in the past. I experimented. I found out who I was and what I wanted for my career at that time. So I think it's worth it. And it got to that place where it was the opposite. Instead of me feeling like an imposter in that moment where, oh, I'm just so lucky to be given this opportunity, I was like, no, they're lucky to have me. you
Yeah, you
know, I
always need to have this. Yeah.
yeah, so
Need
I
to
think
know your
it's
worth.
exactly. I think it's something you can not grow out of, but in moments where you're just not where you do know your worth, it comes from having all those experiences. So I'm right with you. Saying yes to a lot makes it gives you that experience.
What about you, Maya?
I think that what you're saying is extremely valid. And then what you started nuancing at, it was track your success. So basically know your worth. I think that is extremely important to know how you came to that point and because of your all of your experiences and how you got brought up and what education you got. You've come a long way to be here. So you really have to appreciate it. And even though maybe you're not at the level as everybody else, for example, starting new job, you'll get there. So I think that tracking your success, maybe not specifically, writing it down in Word documents, but like knowing your worth, I think that's extremely important.
Yes, for sure.
That's true. Like, I have a really good example I want to share. I was working for another brands. I was working in Fashion Week. That all stuff that I did mostly was for free, just for experience and just learning stuff for the industry. Because like I was always like thinking, yeah, the university or the school, they give you a good education, but what is the point if you don't have experience in the real environment? And in my age of 16, I was studying in Riga in the best art schools in the Baltic countries. And one of my classmates, she was like always like saying like, "Oh, Dana, like I never get like you come to school, you study, then you go to your art school, then you go to your gym, I don't know, then you study another language, then you go study improve your English because my English has never been good." And yeah, I can agree. My English teacher said you're never gonna like get into the international school and get into education, but look where I'm now here talking on this podcast. But okay, what's nevertheless, I was always doing these things, and she was like, "You're creating a new collection. Where do you get the money from? How do you like go for it?" And I said, like, I just follow my passion, like, and in that moment, I didn't realize how much Like I inspired the people to start doing something. And now I'm here living in London and she's back in home. She's studying fashion design, but in university. So we graduate the same course, but now she's like level up, same as I. I just study fashion marketing. And sometimes like I'm like when I'm in Latvia, I was like, oh, let's go out, let's do something. Oh, I have a new collection coming up. Oh, let's be my model. And the thing is, like, she has said to me, like, thank you to showing to me that I need to believe in myself, to not be scared to do things, because you're never gonna know where it's gonna end up. Maybe I'm gonna open somebody to this, like, life to explore and don't be scared to go, because if you just think, yeah, I could do, but you will never know how it ends up. So like I think it's all connected with this topic to like don't like stand and watch and like say wow it's amazing what this person do, but try to go out, try to like expand your like views of things and like try to just like yeah like I'm now here, but where can I go, like what makes me feel happy and like powerful and show me to others.
Definitely, I get that. I mean, I think there isn't, I mean, like you said, like if you don't take any risk at all, like, I mean, you're going to stay right in that same spot. And you being, you being so confident in who you are and pushing forward, at least on the outside, clearly has affected other people. And it's like, even if you are second guessing yourself on the inside, sometimes it affects the attitudes of people around you. It's like, I don't think that there's like a solution. Like, we're not perfect. We're human. There's no real solution for imposter syndrome. It's just about pushing through those bad thoughts and those bad days and, not letting the inherent fear, the fear is going to come no matter what, like we're just hell-bent on not letting it stop us, or you know what I mean, like we've got to push through it. But I
Yeah,
honestly, for me personally, like all the fear that I have, like it keeps me, I say like it keeps me on my toes. It makes me be, if I have a fear of like losing all of my money, okay, well now it makes me budget conscious. Like it puts me in a position where I'm like, okay, I know I only have this amount of money to work with, so let's cut all the corners. If I can save 50 pence, on this purchase, and save a pound on this purchase, like it puts me in a position to really stay on my toes, like no matter what the fear is. So instead of letting it stop me, I find myself letting it like letting
to
it keep
be
me on my
fair,
toes.
to be fair about the money, like I always say to myself, Dana, you don't have any money. Like, like when I create like some campaigns or some like things for my brand, I'm like, Dana, you don't have any money. So just figure it out.
Yeah. And that's what, like I said, when you have that fear, it's the fear is coming from somewhere. It's not a bad thing to have this fear. It's like it, but instead of letting it chase you away, it's like a topic of conversation for myself. It's like, okay, we have a funding problem. Well, what can we do to get more money? Or what can we do to save more money? Or what, instead of being like, oh, I don't have any money, I'm not going to do it. It's like, oh, I don't have any money. So how
That's
can we get
so
around
many
this
people
obstacle?
argument. I don't have any money. I'm not doing anything. And I'm like, why it stops you?
Okay, guys, so what you've been saying, I would say that again goes back to the table. So I don't think we are actually inventing anything new. I think we are just basing on those 9 ways, and we are just like having different experiences when it comes to it. But like, no, you're not alone. And about the mentoring, that's what Dana said. So you basically have this person that is gonna mentor you, that's gonna push you further, as Dana is doing, which is amazing, and it does influence people. So I think that's a very good step to get out of this imposter syndrome, and then be kind to yourself. Just be kind.
Yeah,
No,
like
definitely.
I can agree 100% about that, like for sure. And as
Yeah.
we know now, life is not easy at all,
Oof.
especially for students. It sucks.
It does. If anyone is telling you that going to school is going to be easy, it's going to be, your easy way out, they are lying to you.
So guys, these are we, three crazy girls from University of East London studying fashion marketing and exposing our thoughts on different topics. So today you were with me, Dana, and
Me, Dee.
And me, Maya.
yeah.
Thanks for tuning in with us. We're Just Three Bullets. We'll see you next week.
We're gonna be here at 5 o'clock on every single Wednesday. Just remember to be kind to yourself.
And bye guys, have a nice day.